Hey guys, Richard
And Amanda.
and Amanda from the Pokéfamily here again. Today we're in Grimsby in the north of England. We've travelled, I don't know, an hour, maybe an hour and a half?
About an hour and a half.
About an hour and a half from where we live to get here for something completely separate to Pokemon Go, but as always we're playing some Pokemon Go while we're here. However, today's episode isn't about a raid or a shiny or anything like that. Today's episode is inspired by another content creator's video. I'm sure everybody knows him, Trainer Tips Nick. He made a video a few days ago about maps, scanners, things like that, and how they affect the game. And then a few days later, Niantic changed their security protocols and all the maps disappeared. Now, I'm going to make a disclaimer right now at the beginning. I have used maps before. I've caught Pokemon using maps, and I'll get into why later, because it's not all positive. It's not all positive. Some of it's a balanced kind of view of maps, I think. So, basically, a map, if you don't know, is an online, separate to Pokemon Go, like website that you look at that shows you the locations of gyms, Pokemon, even the Pokemon's IVs, sometimes move sets, blah blah blah, what Pokemon are in gyms, what raids are appearing on gyms, stuff like that. It feeds you a whole bunch of information, and the way it does that is it has bots, which is computer controlled accounts out there near gyms, catching Pokemon, whatever, feeding that information back to the map.
They're sometimes called scanners or trackers.
Scanners, trackers, maps, feeds, all different kinds of things like that. All this stuff was said on Nick's video, so we don't want to go over it again. But basically, my opinion on these things is thusly, and Amanda, she feels somewhat differently. Some of it meshes, but basically, a map, it does aid a community. Me and Amanda have made loads of friends. We've had loads of exhilarating times chasing and running to high IV Pokemon and rare Pokemon to add to our collections. We've made friends doing that. We've been there, we've seen people, we've shook their hands, we've made friends. We've been there when they've evolved Pokemon that are awesome, and it's led to us generating friendships and building a stronger community. On the other hand, I myself have a strong opinion regarding spoofing. I don't like it. I don't think that it helps the game. I don't think it's good for the game. Now, if you're out there and you're a spoofer, don't worry. Don't worry. I don't hate you. If you're just sat in your house spoofing, collecting Pokemon, that's fine. That's fine. What I don't like is when spoofers are putting Pokemon in gyms, etc. But that's a tale for a different day. So essentially, a map is spoofing. Bot accounts are spoofing for you before you go somewhere.
And giving you the information.
And giving you the information. Now, on one hand, there's an argument to say that is viable. Everybody wants to spend their candies on good things. Yeah, they don't want to spend candies on subpar Pokemon when they want to get an edge in raids to generate more balls. They want to know where raids are appearing so they can hit as many raids as possible. And I dare say Niantic want you to know where the raids are too.
We've done that before. I cracked a lucky egg in one of our previous videos and got 3 raids into 1 lucky egg. 3 raids in half an hour is nigh on impossible if you can't see them on the scanner account.
So they're kind of like a necessary evil at the moment, but this problem is not insurmountable. If Niantic develop things to make, I don't know, things better, the tracking system, if they make it so you have a filter so you can see rarer Pokemon on your nearby list rather than just 9 random pokes, that would help. That would definitely help. It would get more people out playing long term rather than just sat in one spot and then zooming off to get big Pokemon. They would probably range a little bit. They need to introduce ways of improving Pokemon. I mean, again, Nick said this with from the main series game, the zincs and the proteins and all the stuff that can help improve Pokemon in the main series games. They can definitely add that. But I've got ideas of my own that Niantic could use. Please, Niantic, if you watch this video, take them. I love this game. I want it to be made better. Number one, in the main series game, or at least in Alpha Sapphire, the one that I've played recently, there's a thing on your Pokédex called a Pokénav, and it makes noises and tells you when there are Pokemon near and gives you an indication of what type of Pokemon they are. If they introduce something similar to that in Pokemon Go, where they allowed you to set it to detect 1 type, 2 types, 3 types, 5 types of Pokemon. You could set it to find Bagon, or you could set it to find Machop, etc. And when you go near those things, it makes a noise and indicates to you, even out of the game, gives you a little alert, something that you want is nearby.
A push notification.
That would be helpful. Secondarily, I mean, if they don't want to use Zincs, or they want to use this as well as Zincs, perhaps they could attach improving your Pokemon to the buddy system. If you walk your buddy a certain distance, allow you to improve that buddy a little bit. And I'm not suggesting it should be a short distance. Perhaps it needs to be higher increments for higher IV points. If you go from 14 to 15, perhaps you need to walk 1,000 kilometers with that Pokemon. But it will allow you to improve the Pokemon that you get legitimately, which will reduce the need
for scanners and maps
to rush around looking at scanners and maps. This is the problem. The inherent problem is there aren't adequate tools in the game for players to figure this out.
Or not even in the game. I mean, it could be a separate website, but Niantic needs to be the one that...
Like Ingress.
Yeah, we were looking at Ingress, weren't we? We don't actually play Ingress. We've sort of fiddled around with it and stuff, but in general, we're Pokemon Go players through and through.
Let's just have a look at this boat. Apparently Grimsby bought that for £1. For £1.
In 1992.
And it cost £85,000 to make. What? But so yeah, my opinion, maps, scanners, etc. are kind of a necessary evil. They help build community, they definitely do. It is exhilarating and fun running around capturing rare Pokemon with your friends. It is. There's no avoiding that. However, that can still exist in a more, I don't know, acceptable format.
My biggest thing is raids. I want to see where raids are. Where I live, I can't see any gyms at all, no matter which way I hold my phone, it doesn't work. So looking for gyms and raids, I just don't know. I have to walk maybe 25-30 minutes to the nearest set of gyms. There's like sort of 3 in a triangle, about 30 minutes away. But if there's no raids on there, then I've wasted my time. Or if they're too high for me to do alone, I've wasted my time. When the snow hit a couple of weeks ago, I couldn't take the car out at all, and we decided not to bother because we couldn't see whether there were any raids or not. So we just stayed where we were. We just stayed in the house, didn't bother. Whereas obviously if we'd have seen that there were maybe what's the one that you're after, Executor, then maybe we would have gone down, because, well, Richard's after executors.
I can't say either.
No.
I can't say either. So this is the thing, Niantic, you guys need to please give us an alternative that isn't spoofing, because that's essentially what it is.
Yep.
It's spoofing. It's just a more legitimate form of spoofing, where you're not actually doing it with your own account. Somebody else is breaching the terms and conditions of the game, but you're not.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly 100% moral to do it. I don't think it is. I had qualms about it when I first started using it, when I first started looking.
It brings the community together, that's the problem. So you sit in a community. We have a small area with 3 Pokestops in like a sort of a small on a road, isn't it, like a cul-de-sac type road, and we sit there and it's called trips, and all the community is there, and if there's something comes up, 100%er, people will say it's time to go, we've got it, and the buzz goes up, and the adrenaline, and it's really exciting, really exciting.
That's how it started with us, because we were there just because that's where people meet, and a Rhyhorn, 100% Rhyhorn came up in a nearby city. We could get there, and we rushed and got it, and it was exhilarating and it was fun. And that's where the kind of the smudging of the line occurred with us. Is this fun? Yes. So how can it be that wrong?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm up in the air about it. I want Niantic to give us tools
so that we can do this without breaking terms and conditions.
Without someone else having to break terms and conditions. And all those guys who make a load of effort out there making maps and scanners and all those things.
We appreciate you too.
It's hard work, I get it. And you probably make some money out of it, and I'm sorry if you lose your income. But let's legitimise this, I think. Let's legitimise it. Let's make ways of your average player who doesn't want to use maps, or make the rest of us not want to use maps. That's my opinion.
Yep.
So that's my opinion on it, guys. There are methods in which Niantic can fix this. They can fix it. They just need to apply something in game. The traffic in the game is nowhere near what it was in the beginning, and I'm sure that they've improved their service since then. So anyway, that's the Pokefamily's opinion, or at least mine and Amanda's opinion on maps. Thanks for inspiring us, Nick. See you in the next video.
I just copied you.